Everybody has their own market. You probably have not met with your own market yet, but you do have something valuable to offer. Hello, everybody. You're welcome back to Showers of Ibukun podcast. How are you doing today? Have you watched the previous episode of this podcast? Tell me, what have you started doing differently? And if you've not seen that episode, you should go to watch it and let me know what you start doing differently going forward. You're welcome back. And if you're new here, yes, you're welcome to Showers of Ibukun. It's great to meet you. All right. Um, so while I was in junior secondary school, I didn't like anything business related, accounting, calculating, accounts, and all of that. So I did like business studies in my junior secondary school. But I remember that there was one of our topics on trading loss and profit accounts, and we would calculate some accounts and all of that. But I mean, I can't really remember what it was all about. But I remember that we were taught that profit is actually what is left after you deduct your expenses from your income. So profit is the gain that you accrue, or the gain that you yield after all of your expenses. So today we are looking at how we can live in a way that we yield profits, in a way that we yield returns in everything that we do, and for whoever comes in contact with us, how we can live in a way that yields benefits. Yes, profitable to you, profitable to whoever interacts with you, profitable to whatever you do. Right. So one way or the other, every one of us are actually businessmen or women, because we all have our skills and our talent, and we are trading it at every point in time in exchange for something. Even our time, our effort, we are trading it, we are putting it to use for the sake of something. We are exchanging it for something. And this is where I question the expectation and belief of some employers and clients who just believe in result and don't really care about the time and efforts that is put into something. I stand to be corrected, but I honestly believe that the time and effort that is put into something is actually valuable, even though it has not yielded the desired result yet. So we're going to be looking at some tips on how we can live profitably. How can we achieve this? How can we spend our time or live our lives in a way that will yield benefits, yield gain to whoever we interact with or to whatever we do? The first tip we have is that place premium on advancing your skill and your talent. Yes, place premium on it because it is important. You are valuable, you have skills, you have talent, you have something to offer. So you want to seek knowledge on how to advance it, you want to seek knowledge on how to upscale it, and then you want to put that skill to use. You want to present it in a way that is valuable, that people can come to it and seek what you have, right? So, from my bit of knowledge about physics, I did a bit of it when I was deciding what department to go. I didn't do the science anyway. So, there's something they call potential energy and kinetic energy. So, the potential energy is static. It tells you that you have something here, something is there. You know that you have the potential for something, but it is until you activate that energy and you put it to use before it converts to kinetic energy, right? So it is until you seek knowledge on how to use your skill and then you're putting it to use, that is when we can know the value of what you have. So seek knowledge and serve us with your skills, serve us with what you have. Imagine that you have a spicy and delicious, very rich smoky jollof rice covered up in a pot. You didn't serve it, you didn't do anything to it, it was just there. And you discover that by the following day, it starts to decay because you didn't preserve it, you didn't do anything to it, you didn't serve it to anybody. And that is what happens to our talents and our skills when we do nothing with it. So start to seek knowledge if you've not started. Start to seek knowledge. Make use of what you have. What do you have? You have something. Everybody has something to offer. Everybody is profitable. Everybody has their own market. You probably have not met with your own market yet, but you do have something valuable to offer. So let's go to the second tip, and it is that you focus and concentrate on things that add meaning to you. You focus and you concentrate on things that give meaning to you. In the grand scheme of things, what makes you fulfilled? What brings out the significant quality in you? Focus on those things and reduce the time that you spend on things that do not matter. Imagine that I'm headed for Lagos State and I start to branch Kwara State, Anambra State, like that. Those are totally off my track. So, and they're going to waste time, energy, they're going to waste effort. So, why not focus on where I'm going? So, focus, concentrate on the things that add meaning to you, things that will add up when it comes to where you're going, when it comes to the path that you're pursuing, right? So, imagine that, for example, you are in traffic for about 2 hours and you spend all of those 2 hours just watching reels on TikTok or Instagram. If you're on this table, please stop it. It's not a profitable way to spend your time. For example, you're here now watching Showers of Ibukun podcast and you're making a profitable decision by doing that because what you're learning, you're gaining value, right? So it can be, instead of spending that time doing something else, watching reels, you want to spend that time maybe catching up on a class that you've missed, or even returning a call to an old friend that you've not had time to catch up with. I mean, I'm not saying that you shouldn't have fun, but there's a way that you can even spend your leisure time doing something that is both entertaining and fulfilling. I remember there was a time when we were watching Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, right? And you'd be anticipating the answers for the contestants. You even want to guess the answers for them. It was fun, but it was educative at the same time. So you can spend your time doing those kind of things. In fact, it could be as simple as spending quality time with family. And I give you an example. You see, the first Christmas holiday I spent after I started working, I didn't like how I spent that holiday. I didn't like it. Because what? I only spent that holiday working. It was from one work to the other. And it got so bad that at some point, my mom had to tell me that, you know what, let's just imagine that, let's just take it that you didn't come home. Because they didn't feel my presence. And it touched me. And I was like, you know what? I made a decision that nothing is going to take away this precious time with family from me. So it could be family time. It could be anything that helps to facilitate your journey to where you're headed. So focus and concentrate on things that give meaning to you, right? And this leads to the third tip, and it is that you associate yourself with who and what brings out the profitability in you. Have you been in the midst of people, or you're associated with some people, and you begin to discover things that you didn't know were there? They didn't maybe do anything so serious, but in your interactions with them, you started to discover that you can do some things, or maybe something you knew you could do before, but you discover that, wow, so I can be as good as this about this, right? So associate yourself with those people, because they will even shorten your journey to where you're headed. They help you to get to where you're going faster. So gather yourself around resourceful people. Gather people that are resourceful around yourself. You could even take mentorship class from somebody that you know is doing something that you would like to do, right? So I'll give you one more tip as a bonus, and it is that you position yourself as a profitable person. Let us want to associate with you. Let us want to seek your service. Show us that you can add value to us, right? If people interact with you, be credible, have integrity. When you say something, mean it. If you know you will not do something, don't promise people that. Don't give people your word when you don't mean it. Huh? So when you do something, do it well. Do it well. Do it with competence. Be in the gathering of people that you can network with. Let them see the value that you have. Position yourself in a profitable way. I can't overflog these tips right now, but I hope you get the gist, right? These are things that can help us to yield profit, to yield benefits in unimaginable ways, right? So I hope that you've learned a thing or two from this video, and I hope that you start to do things differently going forward. Because here on Showers of Ibukun podcast, the goal is to be at peace while we live our everyday life. Be at peace every day in every way. And when we do these things, we discover that we are able to be of value, and we are not choked up in a chaotic life. You can relate if you watch the first episode. We are not choked up in a place where we are saying, oh, I'm pressed for time, I need to really do this. Because you are spending your time wisely, you are maximizing your time. You associate yourself with the right people, you're focused, you're concentrated on where you're going. So you're not spending time on what does not matter. And so you're not saying, oh, I'm having low attention span, I can't really pay attention. And you're not able to pay attention on what really matters. So that's not going to be you. That's not going to be me, right? Okay, guys, this is where we wrap it up today. I hope you've learned and you're going to share with everyone so that they can also live profitably, right? So don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like the video. Let's hear your comments. Let me even know if there are topics that you would like me to touch on, okay? All right, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.